Welcome to Washington, DC. Hey Nomads, it's Tanya, and today's video is all about everything you want to see in a visit to DC. There's sort of a main core sideways T area where all of the monuments and sites you might want to see are, and it's all completely walkable, although if you want to see all of it in a day, it would be a lot of walking. There's actually some great bike and scooter shares you could take advantage of if you want to go from one side to another without getting too tired. Capital Bike Share is one that comes to mind, which is a major bike share program in the city, and there's a bunch of different docks around the main area. If you have more than a day to spend exploring DC, I recommend you spend one of your days walking from the US Capitol along the National Mall towards the Lincoln Memorial. It's a very nice walk. There are a lot of things to see along the way, and you can use your extra time maybe renting a bike and going to the outer monuments, including the Jefferson Memorial, the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial, and the White House. If you've never been to Washington, DC before, and this is your first time visiting, you'll probably want to come to the National Mall, which is booked end at each side with the Washington National Monument on one side and the Capitol, which is right behind me. The mall is a great place to visit because not only do you have these national monuments around you, you also have a number of popular Smithsonian museums right on the sides of the mall. Now, if you only have time to do one Smithsonian museum, I highly recommend you do the National Air and Space Museum. And I know I'm biased because I love aerospace, but I'm not alone. In 2017, it was the most visited Smithsonian museum with over 7 million visitors. So a few months ago we were in the Outer Banks, North Carolina. We went to the spot where the 1903 first flight was done by the Wright brothers, and we saw a replica of the Wright Flyer, but behind me is the actual Wright Flyer that they used to make that first flight. As you continue west from the US Capitol, behind the Washington Monument is the World War II Memorial, which was built in 2004, and then just behind that is the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, where a number of historical events have occurred, including the 1963 I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King.
Let both sides explore what problems unite us, instead of belaboring those problems which divide us. Together, let us explore the stars, conquer the desert, eradicate disease, tap the ocean depths, and encourage the arts and commerce. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Not too far from the National Mall and the Washington Monument is an area near the water called the Wharf. It's sort of newly developed and there's a bunch of chain stores and restaurants, but there's also a lot of local fresh seafood, and in the winter like now there's also ice skating, which you can see behind me, and they have a concert hall where they have different performances all the time, so it's sort of a happening area. And not that far from all the sights if you get tired and you want a bite to eat or somewhere to relax. If you're a fan of fresh seafood, the Wharf is a great place to come because they have plenty of vendors. They'll cook it for you if you want, and the prices are very reasonable.
Fried crab.
Fried soft shell crab.
Soft shell.
Now, I don't know if you know the difference between hard shell and soft shell crab, but the soft shell crab, you can eat the shell, so you don't have to worry with taking the meat out, which is so hard. We got Wharf sweet corn, and we got oysters that are like chica something oysters. We're very excited. It's gonna be delicious.
Yeah.
There are so many great things to do in the Washington DC area, and the things that I mentioned in this video are just some of the things that I think are must-sees for someone visiting Washington DC for the first time. If there's some sites that are must-sees that you think I forgot, please put those in the comments below. And if you like this video and you want to see more of my adventures, hit subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new videos are available. Until next time, bye!